YouTube, what up? Welcome back. Today's something different. I kind of want to examine these two incredible work in progress customs by a friend of mine's, a fellow customizer, an awesome customizer by the name of Customs by Machu, who has been working on these masterpieces for a very long time. I call this guy the madman, the action figure architect, because he just like takes different approaches and is pretty innovative when it comes to customizing. And I like that. It kind of makes me want to go different directions. It makes me want to put in extra effort. So here are some work in progress video anyway of what he did and what they're going to look like before painted. So again, all the construction was done by him. All I'm going to do is just put some icing on a cake. The cake was baked pretty much. You can see how he did it. If you want, go check on his Instagram because I don't want to give it all the way here. Go check him out and see what he did to make it happen. But now I got him in my hands and I want to know how they are before I get to paint them. So I guess this is the inspection. I want to make sure that all the joints are sanded and everything looks cool before I decide to paint it. One is mine's and one is his. I provided him all the parts that he needed to make mine's and he decided to give it a go. We actually worked out a deal. This is our first collaboration. Well, my first collaboration. I'm not sure if he's ever collaborated, but this is my first collaboration. And honestly, if this comes out great, I'm open to collaborate with other artists. Other people have asked me and I have turned them down because I just don't know if we work the same, you know, if long story short, if this works out, I'm definitely down to work with other artists. Again, some people sand different and, you know, paint rub for me is one of the most important things. So it's, you know, it's my goal to kind of always eliminate paint rub and chopping away as much plastic as I can in order to prevent the action figure from rubbing. And I don't know if other customizers sand the same areas that I do. For example, I can see already a few areas that I'm going to have to touch up before painting. These calves and thighs, they look a little tight. He said he sanded them, and they do look like they've had some preparation. However, I still feel like they are too tight, and if you add any paint there, it may rub off. But this ab crunch works really well. Everything else looks like it has enough space for paint, so I'm not too worried or concerned with most of the figure. Probably like I said, just the legs I think I'm going to have to touch up. But everything else looks cool. Look at this head. It's really nice. The teeth are nice and sharp. The eyes are done really well. Butterfly joints still work. He's actually attached two other butterfly joints on the side there on the ribs to make the arms. This is really cool, man. Let's check out the other one. This one is mine's, the Deadpool body. That's all I had to offer at the time. It's the same body, just a different color. You see he made another head pretty identical to the first one. There are slight differences, but they do look very much the same. And I like it. I like it a lot. I told him I may make an alternate head just to see how that goes, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen. One thing I noticed, though, is that on mine's, the chest look a little uneven, but I can fix that. No issue. Just take an X-Acto knife and cut right up there. So just a couple minor issues that I'll have to fix before painting. So again, just a few concerns. I think the chest area and then the shoulders right there. I don't know if you notice. I'm going to have to maybe chip away a little bit of that plastic right there at the shoulder because when you lift the arm, it may rub. But the eyes look great. They have this honeycomb pattern. Shout out to you for doing that because that was probably real tedious to do. These thighs also probably have to be taken down. But moving the hips, that looks pretty good. That's enough space for paint. I don't have to touch that up. The waist swivel looks cool. The ab crunch works good. I may have to use some sandpaper a little bit because it's a little sharp right there at the front of the ab crunch. The butterfly joints are working. Nothing stuck. Ankles are working. Yeah, man. So I'm just ready to get these painted. I might start working on these this weekend. I got to finish up some other things, though. Then there are the arms, and there are 6 arms for each figure. And I think each arm is designated for a specific place according to this letter I got here with a bat. It says, hey, dude, a few things. Please be very careful when putting the arms and taking them out. The less you do, the better. Please keep the arms assigned to their proper sockets, and arms and fists go in the back. Pretty much just telling me which arm goes to which socket and to try not to mess that up. And I'll try my best to follow instructions because, you know, I'm going to just work on one at a time and see how that goes. But that bat, it's funny. Here are the bag of arms. I think there's 2 Sunfire arms and 4 Pizza Spider-Man arms. I'm not really sure. I'm going to have to just look at everything when I have a proper minute without being on camera and on the spot, so I can really just know what's what, and then probably write down what's what so I can just keep a mental note or physical note on what actually belongs where. I believe this is a Pizza Spider-Man arm with a custom hand. If you guys saw how he did these hands, you'd be friggin' impressed because he used like these metal things. But this shoulder joint seems to be a little loose, a little looser than I want it to be. I feel like I can just pull it out. And I don't want to put too much force on it and break it because usually you got to heat this up with the hairdryer or hot water and then pop it out of the socket. But I think I can pop it out. There it is. Ooh, let's put it right back, which is pretty cool. You mean it didn't break? You can pop it in and out. That's fine. Everything looks sanded. He did cover the peg holes. A lot of people like that in their customs. But there's something in that joint that's kind of worrying me. Looks like there's a big cut that it looks like it was done with the knife, an X-Acto knife, and I feel like the more I bend this, the more I probably have a chance of breaking it. You see that cut right there? So I got to be very careful with this and be as delicate as I can because I'm normally heavy-handed. You know, I'm not built for like soft touching and stuff like that. But everything's going to be all right. I'm only mentally preparing myself for the things that could go wrong. You know, what they say, prepare for the worst, but expect the best. And this is what I hope. I expect the best turnout with these things. Because, again, the hard work is already done. Believe it or not, prepping is one of the toughest parts of customizing. And that's probably why you haven't seen a how-to officially prep and sand figure, because that takes so much time. And it's just a lot of work. But these look great. Again, give Customs by Machu a follow on Instagram if you don't know, if you're not familiar with this work. And you can also follow me at IM978 Customs on Instagram. And stay tuned because we're going to have some fun.